ex-President Trump could have won this election if he wanted to. All he had to do was make simple statements of level positive thinking and regard. Things like,
what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hear Success channel. I'm your host, Rakeem.
Man, I'm happy to be here, John Adolph, man.
And today we have another episode of Pastor Reacts. And today we're going to try something a little different. We're going to go ahead and react to the news since that's what's the hot topic right now. Trump's legal team is vowing to file more voter fraud lawsuits despite no path to re-election. Let's go ahead and see what this is about because I'm not really into the news. I don't watch much. So this is going to be some knowledge for me. Let's go.
Okay, so here's the deal. This is ought to be the most interesting thing you've ever seen us do because it regards the fate and future of the biggest, most powerful country on the planet. Let's see what's up.
President Trump, meanwhile, is rejecting any suggestion that he has lost the election. And yesterday, he returned to his Virginia golf club where he learned on Saturday that Mr. Biden had been projected as the winner. The president is repeating false claims about widespread election fraud while his legal team is preparing more challenges to the vote count. Paula Reed is at the White House for us. Paula, good morning to you. What more can you tell us about this court fight?
Good morning. Tony, the president's personal attorneys have vowed to continue filing lawsuits, even though they don't appear to have any clear path to 270 electoral votes. And they've already faced a string of court losses so far as judges keep saying that these allegations are just not supported by evidence.
I think the first lawsuit will be Pennsylvania, the second will either be Michigan or Georgia, and over the course of the week, we should get it all pulled together.
The president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, said his client will not accept a projected defeat.
At this point, it would be wrong for him to...
Man, I can't hold it no more. Okay, so here is the deal, guys. Never before in my era of living have we ever witnessed an election like this. So first of all, we need to understand your vote mattered. If you voted, this is what happens when we go vote. When the masses turn out, regardless of color or caliber or creed, go vote. We're a democracy. That's the first thing. Number two, we are often the forgotten about people. You know, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, right? So they kind of forget about us. None of us have millions and billions just floating around. So we forget that it's not the people with the money who decide who runs this. It's the folk with the voice who vote. That's how it works. Number three, right now, I've never seen a race this tight, Rakeem. This is a tight race. And in every tight race, with a system where there's integrity, there are margins of error. What they're claiming here with these lawsuits is not only voter irregularity and not only the integrity of the ability to count these votes, but that indiscretion in the margins of error. Because if these margins can be shifted in any way, it could possibly change the outcome. Here is the shout for all the Christian people that voted. When you get through with this, the wheels of justice grind slowly for the president, just like they do everybody else. It's going to take time. So just like you on lockdown, play more golf, ex-President Trump. Go on and play some golf because it's not going to hurry this because Giuliani is your legal representative. By the time we figure out what really happened, the new team will be through the inauguration. Kudos to Biden and Harris. By the time you get through figuring this out, it'll be about 4 years into it, 5 when we discover it, and then it's too late. At the end of the day, the American voice, the road through the Electoral College, the 270, has been obtained, and we have a new president-elect.
Strong evidence that this was an election that in at least 3 or 4 states and possibly 10, it was stolen.
But they have provided little to no evidence in a court of law to support their claims. In Michigan, Georgia, and Nevada, judges have rejected lawsuits backed by the campaign, saying they presented no serious evidence of widespread fraud. In Pennsylvania, the Trump campaign was able to get poll watchers a few feet closer to vote counting, but they continue to make allegations that there...
So when you go to the polls, is it someone there watching from each party, Trump, everywhere, or is it?
Well, normally poll workers are bipartisan for the most part. Some are Democrat or Republican, but no one can go to the poll with you. These ballots that we're watching in this particular clip are mail-in ballots. Now, hold on. You got to field me on
Trump
this.
didn't like the idea of that. From
No,
the start.
and here is why. Because you can't measure mail-in ballots. We don't know where they came from. We don't know where they went. We just know that we have them. So, yes, you have to do certain things to get a ballot, but no one can see you. No one can put a hand on you. So where'd all these ballots? And hold on, I'm so thankful. Hallelujah. For people who filled out a mail-in ballot. You were the victors and vicors of this election, because without you doing it, thank God for Mama them who can't walk, for treating them who didn't feel like going, but you wanted to vote. Thank all y'all, because mail-in ballots will be the historic landmark piece that determined who won this election. Think about this, Rakeem. President Biden right now wins this election by the hair on his chin. He don't even have no hair. To make matters more interesting, listen carefully. By the time he wins, it's 3 or 4 days later before he can get to 270. We don't know what Vice President Pence was doing. No one saw him after that election with that fly in his head. We ain't see him no more. It was all one man, Donald Trump. And it took President Biden, Vice President Harris, President Barack Obama, and Biden's wife to help bring this administration down. So think, he wasn't some weak opponent. He was a formidable opponent. And what he used to win was divisiveness. He just knew that if he would divide, he could conquer. But the same divisive piece that he used backfired on him, because people who went to the poll wasn't really going to the poll to vote for Biden. We don't even know Biden. We just like you because you was with Barack Obama. And folk of color voted because you got Harris on the ticket. When you get through, we wasn't voting for Biden. We was voting against that joker, Donald Trump. Donald Trump's administration, marked by tyranny, bigotry, covert racial thoughts, and subliminal racial hatred, pushed people to the poll, black, and white, and other, that say enough is enough. Mm-hmm.
Not enough access. Republican Senator Mitt Romney criticized the campaign's baseless claims of fraud.
There's just no evidence of that at this stage.
CBS News has learned the campaign is keeping a list of GOP lawmakers who are not supporting the president. Some allies did offer support on Sunday.
At this point, we do not know who has prevailed in the election.
If I were President Trump, I would take all this to court. I'd fight back.
All the rhetoric is increasing tensions. 60 Minutes correspondent Bill Whitaker spoke with Republican Philadelphia City Commissioner Al Schmidt, who said his office, which runs the vote count, has received death threats.
Wow. Oh, stop. Whenever you start hearing people making death threats, my mind thinks organized crime and syndicates. Because when you get through, if you could produce 200,000 mail-in ballots for an election like this, what is that worth? Huh? Wait, hold on, Doc. You've got millions of people voting. What is it worth to produce 200,000 in Georgia if you can produce that? Or Pennsylvania or Nevada? What is that? What's the dollar amount willing to be spent on that? I do believe that there are death threats. At the end of the day, you have one administration who refuses to concede. And I want to say this. Ex-President Trump could have won this election if he wanted to. All he had to do was make simple statements of level positive thinking and regard. Things like when he heard these jump out boys in New York were supposed to be some racially motivated group, he should have told them our country is bigger than that. What he did was say, hold on, I'll tell you if I need you. Hey, wait, he poured gas on the wrong fire. Wait, when he heard Black Lives Matter, hold on, whether you are a proponent of the rootage of Black Lives Matter, you cannot argue systemically and socio-politically about the fruit of Black Lives Matter. When you get through, the philosophical idealisms are permanent around the world. But he was careful not to endorse that. These things are just the tip of an iceberg. If he had simply did simple things, he could have won. Think about this. No race was more than 8% in distance. Man, but if you run track, that's a photo finish at the line.
Yeah.
You got to take a picture. Who won that? So wait, he didn't get beat to death. It was just enough for Biden to say, we won, victory.
So what do you think? You think that Trump is using this as a tactic to slow things down, or you think it's really what's some far going on?
No, the federal government will march on. The country has spoken. Whether there are voter irregularities, whether there are stuffed boxes that came in, we don't know. Yeah. Here's the truth. Wait, hold on, listen. We don't know. We just know what they told us. At the end of the day, here's what we do know. One man prevailed to get to 270.
Exactly.
If Trump won all the other states that exist, he still wouldn't have 270. And to make matters worse, he would have to go in the states where he had more and figure out if he would have enough to be able to prove irregularity or voter fraud with enough votes to overturn that. What are the chances of that? Slim and none. So the bottom line is, come January, we will hear hail to the chief, whether he concedes or not. He will probably be the only losing president in American history who does not concede the election.
In a democracy.
CBS News has learned that the Trump campaign staffers who have been tasked with answering the phone at their voter fraud hotline, they've been dealing with a lot of prank calls. But if you look at the margins in these key states, they're clearly just too wide to be overcome by a handful of court cases. But even if the president's attorneys lose every single case, they have still succeeded in riling up the president's base. Anthony?
Paula, thank you.
All right. So in closing, I feel like you said, the country has spoken. We have a new president, and that's just going to be what it is. If you like this reaction, I want you to go ahead and comment, like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also, share this with any of your friends that you think need to see this. Comment any videos you want us to react to in the future. And remember, you hear it heard first. Thanks for watching.
Peace. Hey guys, it's Pastor Adolph from the Hear Success Podcast. I'm hoping you're checking it out and tuning in with us. Just in case you missed something, it's right here, man. Just go back and get it and stay tuned in. Tell a friend, we're excited about it.